that it would radiate out from this single point. Daddy returned, shepherding my sisters into the kitchen. Bertie held out a handkerchief for Mama. Rita blinked nervously. Tears were rare for our mother. Mama wiped her face and sighed a deep, shuddering sigh. I knew something must have been wrong. She hadn't been into town in over a week. She always... I started to sit down again and reached for Mama's hand. Daddy stopped me. You're going to the farm with me. Eva's cows haven't been milked. I didn't want to leave Mama, but he was right. I was the one who should go with him. My brother Joe had no interest in the farm. Bertie had never deigned to touch a cow's teat, and any animal larger than a house cat intimidated Rita. I knew Aunt Eva's farm better than I knew my own bedroom. I followed Daddy to the car and slid in beside him. Probably a heart attack, he said. I don't think she suffered. Your Mama found her on the parlor couch, pictures of her boys next to her. He offered no more, and I didn't ask. We'd never been much for words, the two of us. I looked out at the houses we passed. Eva was gone. A wave of anger surged through me. I tried to console myself with the hard practical thought that the natural death of an old woman was better than one more boy dead. Daddy muttered, cursing the roughness of the steep driveway and downshifting the old Ford. The coroner's here, Daddy announced as we pulled around behind the house. Eva's dog, Hobo, barked a welcome and then retreated. Two men slid Eva's sheet-covered body, strapped down as if she might get away, into the back of an open ambulance. Daddy got out of the car and greeted a man in a suit who approached us holding some papers. I walked away from their voices, turning my back on the face of Eva's house and its door propped open like a gaping mouth. The plow horse, Becky, whinnied and pawed as soon as I opened the barn door. Eva's 3 cows bellowed. Their bags hung heavily, enormous and painfully pink. Manure soured by too much urine lay over the normal sweet barn smell. I started first with Mabel, the cantankerous one, working my hands gently along her bag, checking for lumps. For once, she seemed grateful for the milking. Only then, leaning against her warm, firm side, listening to the rhythm of milk hit the tin bucket, breathing the sweetness of it rising, did I begin to cry for the woman who had taught me to milk. I cried for her and for what the war had taken. All those boys dead. A new one in the newspaper every day. Now the war was taking my refuge, the farm. It had fallen into such neglect. That wouldn't have happened just with the death of Uncle Lester. It took the war biting off one son at a time until there were none. Since I'd been old enough to carry a bucket or wield a hoe, I'd done my best to help Eva. But blinded by grief, she'd let the place go. A dull darkness slipped over me as if, in her death, Eva's sorrows had shifted to my shoulders. After a few minutes, Daddy joined me. He snorted in disgust and stomped the manure off his shoes, then set to work on Beulah next to me. He offered nothing more about Eva's death. He hated the farm. He had grown up poor on a farm and had vowed never to go back to one. I couldn't see that we were any better off, the 6 of us living paycheck to paycheck, crowded into the tiny mill village house. But Daddy trusted the steady income of the textile mills. To him, farmers were a lot to be pitied. Farmers are at the mercy of nature's whims, he liked to say. We finished the milking and started the feeding. While Daddy watered the hogs and chickens, I went into the house, drawn to it now that the coroner was gone. I pulled the screen door closed. Eva hated flies getting into the house. The stove was cold and held the same stillness that permeated the house. A saucer sat on the table, a half-eaten square of cornbread on it, a cup of coffee next to it, a spoon left in the cup. Such a puny breakfast. Nothing like the ham, eggs, and biscuits she had always made for Uncle Lester, her boy.